And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day, the last day of July.
I know, I can't believe it. So evidently it's July 31st and it is Wednesday and it is also National Avocado Day. So we're going to tell you a little bit about how good avocados are for you.
I love avocados.
Me too.
Yeah, there you go. And on our show today, we're going to bring you a segment with AutoNation Toyota Irvine. Also, we're going to get a recreation report from Brian Gruner and what's going on with them. Florence Sylvester Senior Center, today it will be Shirley will be here today, along with Tim Bryant, and he often goes over there and gives talks on finances and things like that. And then a couple guests from the PC Club talking to you about some classes that will be coming up.
Yes, and today we have we do have a meeting. I didn't see the meeting.
One
meeting, Mutual 50 Dining Services Committee meeting, and that'll be in the Towers Key Club, and that is at 2 p.m. All right, so while guacamole is grand, don't settle for just the chips and dip on this food holiday. Since avocado is so versatile, clear the table for the entire meal. That includes everything from appetizers to main dishes and all the way to dessert, although I'd have to say I have never had avocado for dessert. Okay, so avocados are more than a staple food in the American diet. They are proven to be a key ingredient in recipes for both inside the body and on the body. According to the Haas Avocado Board, as of 2015, avocado consumption in the United States doubled since 2005 and quadrupled since 2000. In fact, a whopping 4.25 billion avocados were sold in the U.S. at some point between 2015 and 2016. That's a 4.25 billion of this amazingly beautiful food, and I do not have any updates since then. So nevertheless, I'm sure it's increased since then. One serving, which equals around 1/5 of an avocado, is around 50 calories. It has 60% more potassium than a banana and also contains vitamins B and C. 3/4 of the fruit's calories come from fat. But don't worry, it's monosaturated fat. This type helps lower LDL, which is the kind of cholesterol you don't want a lot of. It also is thought to increase HDL, which is the kind of cholesterol you do want. Avocados also contain a high percentage of fiber, which of course is very good for you. One of the secret weapons in an avocado has a high oleic acid content. This moisturizing fatty acid helps keep skin soft and hydrated and also supports regeneration of damaged skin cells, reducing redness and irritation. Ancient Aztecs used the avocado to beautify their skin topically with masks. Then in the earliest 20th century, the cosmetic industry discovered the benefits of its oil in creams, lotions, facial cleansers, and other products that required a smooth application. And today that practice continues. So Ken, are you up for an avocado mask?
No, I am up always for avocados, but not an avocado mask.
Okay.
But I do love avocados, and I try and grow them. I don't have much luck with them at all. But
yeah.
you know, you need really 2 trees to grow them and pollinate each other. But what can I tell you? I love them. All right, our weather today, we're going to start feeling a little of that humidity coming in, and today and tomorrow it shouldn't be real strong. We've had some fog this morning, which is good. But as we get to the weekend, we'll start to really feel it on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're looking for higher temperatures and stronger humidity on those days. So enjoy the next few days. It's really going to hit, even though Sunday and Saturday are pretty much the same temperature, we're going to start to see the humidity, maybe Sunday, for sure Monday into next week. We're going to see the temperatures begin to go up. In fact, looking around Orange County today and elsewhere, you see Palm Springs is only 105. By next week or by Sunday and Monday, you're going to add maybe 10 degrees to that. So it'll definitely be here in force. So enjoy this right now. Really a little bit, you know, we're up by humidity today by a little bit today and tomorrow. But then as we get into next week, it'll be more like what we had last week. So there you have it for the weather. Enjoy it, and I love the fog in the morning. At least that's cooling us down a little bit. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
When your sticker package arrives, follow the simple instructions on the envelope. It's important to know that the sticker must be adhered to the inside of your vehicle before driving on a tolled bridge, lane, or road. There, you're all set to go out and enjoy the drive. A new drive awaits on the toll roads of Orange County.
With me today are the gentlemen from AutoNation Toyota Irvine. We've got Ephraim and Steve here today. And it's warming up, guys, right?
It is.
It is heating up. I hope everybody out there is staying cool.
Yes. All right. And you know, that kind of pertains to what we're talking about today, because this time of the year, people like to get out, go places, go on vacations, whatever it might be, and making sure your vehicle is in good order. It doesn't matter if your vehicle is 6 months old or 6, 7 years old. You know what? You want to have something that you can rely on. Now, of course, with Toyotas are pretty darn reliable, but still, they need a little maintenance, a little checkups, right?
And you know, Ken, to your point, that's a good thing. That's why we offer the pit stop, because people don't bring their car in a lot, right? They're not driving a lot, but when they do want to go out, we offer that pit stop for them to come in. The weather is getting extremely hot. When these people start their cars up now, the bottom line is that they're going to see lights, they're going to see indicator lights and stuff that come on that maybe they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing if they do see these things, make sure they don't panic, number one. Make sure too, if they do come on, they get themselves to a safe spot where they can pull over. A lot of times if they just restart the cars with the electronics in them, those lights will go out. But it's also a good point to take the car in and have it looked at, just to have it checked to make sure that there isn't a problem with it.
And don't wait for something to happen.
Right. Because if when a battery light comes on, especially with the heat that we have, a lot of what we're seeing right now is a lot of battery indicator lights coming on. And it really doesn't mean the battery's failed, and it really doesn't mean you have an alternator problem. What it is it's a processor's just gotten hot, and so that car just needs to be restarted.
Yeah.
It needs to relearn itself, and you bring it in, and we'll go through the initialization on it, and then you're all set and ready to go.
Yeah. It oftentimes isn't something severe. But what we were just reminded of outside by Constance is that something simple like that can create all this anxiety.
Right.
She's like, oh my gosh, is the car going to just stop in the middle of the road? Am I going to be driving and it's just going to leave me right? And instead, you know, if the car is driving safely, get to somewhere safe, and then cycle it off and turn it back on. And if the light stays on, drive to our place.
You know what's different today compared to years ago? He may not remember because he's a young guy.
Oh, come on.
He's a young guy.
He's a young guy. But years ago, you didn't know too much what was going on with your car.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that car is monitoring itself constantly. You can imagine if our bodies did that every day, you'd be like, hey, your blood pressure's up, this is down, like that. But the car is, with all the electronics, all the diagnostics is doing this. So we do get more information, but it doesn't mean that the average person really might not know. And you know, one thing I've had even on my car is sometimes the tire pressure.
That's right.
Well, a lot of times it's just because it's cold. During the wintertime, it's going to show it's maybe a bit lower pressure. During the summertime, it might show a little bit higher pressure. So sometimes it's nothing more than it's just the conditions outside.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. You know, so we have a lot of. We had one yesterday where the customer had come in and again, tire light was on, tires down a couple pounds.
Right.
So we go ahead and we'll check that out in our pit stop, make sure that everything's good for the customer and that he's on his way. But with the expanding and contraction and the heat and everything, these low profile, low resistance running tires will actually change tire pressure, and it happens quite often. So we see it happen sometimes every third day on the car. So we have to, you know, give the customer the knowledge and let him know what's going on with the tire.
Right.
And then the variations, as you're talking about, just with the weather, can be 3 to 5 pounds, and we're already going to lose about 2 or 3 pounds minimum a month anyway, and when you don't check it for a couple months, you got to be careful. And that's why, you know, not having that available anymore at the gas station, or even something we're even willing to do, just come in.
Right.
And so that's what I think we always want to remind our local area neighbors, is that that's all we're there for.
Yeah.
Come in and get some help. That's it.
And we, you know, another thing I want to say, and this goes to more of well, you can help out with this, but you know, your sales staff and all.
Yeah.
When somebody purchases or leases a new Toyota, you know, nowadays, again, compared to years ago, you're going to sit down with them and go through, or you know, somebody, a member of your staff, and go through everything. And if somebody doesn't understand something, all the electronics, you know, sometimes there's a little screen where the gauges are, and there could be 10 screens there that show you different things.
True.
And you're like, what am I looking at? How come when I touch this button that changes and things? And
So when they do purchase the car, we go through the car and they do the complete walkthrough.
Yeah.
But you know, the customer's excited. You know, he's got a brand new car. It's information overload.
Oh,
You're looking at a
yes.
complete computer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the CRTs and these new Priuses, they're this big.
Oh, it's a computer.
Yeah.
And when you first hit the power button, they go through all their segments and they do all these things, and you're watching. It's like watching TV. And all of a sudden, it's like it's programming the car to do exactly what it should do. And you forget all that. You change your phone, you have to come in. It has to be paired to your Bluetooth. A lot of people don't know how to do those things.
Right.
And so they lose their contacts, whatever the case may be. That's what we're there for.
Yeah.
So we can do that real quick on the service.
You know what I love? Well, I'm not saying I really love it. Is every car is like this nowadays. You first turn it on and there's the lawyer speak. You know, do not do this while you're driving. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And you're going,
That's
just get to the radio, please. Right. You know, but they have to do that, right?
Right.
Don't stare at this while you're driving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you know, it's a very good point nowadays compared to you know, before. And you're excited. I don't read manuals. You know, who does?
That's right. And so
most men don't.
Well, so one of the things we always ask is that, hey, let's have that second or third delivery. Come back, you know, a week or two later when you really get the questions or something. You know, nowadays, gosh, even on the way here, everyone seems to be staring at their phone when they're driving. It's so scary. And so when he just mentions come in when you get a new phone, or even when the phone just simply doesn't have that connectivity any longer, come in, because I mean, we shouldn't be looking at our phone, and it's terrible. It's something everyone does. So that's why it's important that everything is working the way it's supposed to on the cars.
Yeah, and if you've got, whenever you hear that sound, it's a pit stop time.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's what that is.
You know, what's that? Whenever you hear a bell, a new angel gets its wings.
That's right.
There you go.
Did you just get your wings?
One of my favorite.
I hope
Hey, quickly, you know.
I love that. That's amazing.
Someone gets a new car. Again, years ago, you got that what was called break-in oil and all that kind of stuff. Is that still even a thing now today? Is it, you know, where
it's not a thing.
It's not. Do most use synthetic oil? Yeah.
Most cars all now are 0.20.
Okay.
And some cars now, the newer ones, are even going to 0.16. So there is no 0.16 is almost like water.
Wow.
So there is absolutely no break-in. Low resistance rings, so no carbon. Completely different design internally inside the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's true that the manufacturer says that oil in there is good for 10,000 miles. And although that's true, I'm not one that likes my same oil, especially new, to sit in there that long. That's not me. But remember, it's also about time.
Yes.
So it's 10,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. Something needs to be done in your car, and that's where we're.
So you remember we're talking about oil, guys, when you and I first got into this, right? It was 3,000 miles.
Yeah. Oh, sure. That's why I asked that.
And then it went to 5, and everybody was kind of like 5,000 miles.
Right.
And then it went to 7,500, and now it's 10.
Right.
So in 10,000 miles, I mean, you can drive that car a lot of miles before you do change that oil. It's always a good idea. And again, is why we offer the pit stop.
Right.
Because cars will consume oil. They still do. They will.
Yeah.
With it, especially being 0.16, 0.20, very thin oil base, the bottom line, even though it's synthetic, they will consume oil. So it's a great idea to get that car and have those fluids checked.
Yeah, it's not like, I remember, you used to have break-in oil, because you probably remember there might be little deposits that are, first going through the engine, and then you want to, I remember back then, it was just like sometimes they go after 1,000 miles or something, we changed that
so
oil.
You're really dating yourself, because you're talking cast iron motors, and now we're all running aluminum blocks. So yeah, I get you. No such thing
See,
as
he's
cast
going,
iron.
what are you talking about, guys?
He knows, he's an old car guy, he knows.
Ken, you mentioned something a minute ago, like, you know, either when you come in, someone will help you. No, and this is why we are coming here today, and like we show up most weeks, is that I want them to come and ask for me. when someone comes in. I mean, I'm that point man. I'll guide you in whatever you might need, whether it's the sales or down into service or whatever it might be. Ask for Steve. I'd ask you to ask for me because I have way more time than he does. No, Steve is really, he's just so involved with everything, including all the technicians in the shop. And not just that, but I enjoy the conversation of just connecting with someone, and just, everyone's got a story to tell, and that's what I want to hear.
And that's a place you want to be at.
Yeah.
Seriously, especially when you're
is.
buying or leasing a new vehicle, a used vehicle, whatever it might be. That's important. They want to feel, no matter what it is, they of course want to be happy with what they get. They want to go away from there going, you know what, that was a nice experience. Those were nice people. It felt like they weren't just pressuring me to buy something.
Right.
They wanted to connect me with the right product.
Yeah. And so when you were just mentioning a moment ago, I thought you were going to say, because when you come in and see me, and if you have a notion to just get some information, get some, how much would this be, and if I thought about leasing as opposed to buying it, or what, there's several different ways. Not every one way makes sense for everybody.
No.
Let's print all those options and choices. Yeah. We'll speak to them and then make sure that we have understanding, and then fold them up, put them in your pocket. Sometimes when you're making a decision that big, you need to think about it.
Yeah.
And that's what's different, because most, in the car business and car dealers, and hey, let's do it now, and I'm not into that. Because sometimes you got to think about it, and if the light doesn't turn on or something doesn't make sense, then say no.
Right.
Because it's not about us doing something that only benefits us. It's got to make sense.
Yeah,
and so this is the difference
does.
between, in my opinion, just neighborhood guys that are just doing the right thing. That's it.
Very good. Always good to see you guys.
Yep.
It's great to be here.
And remember, they are just right down the road there, AutoNation Toyota Irvine. Of course, you can go online and find out all kinds of information. You can make a service appointment. You can see what's available on the lot. If you're interested in a new or used vehicle, it's all there. But best of all, go down there. Say hi to these guys. Well,
say hi.
Steve might be a little busy, but you can still wave.
Real quick, just so you know, you don't need an appointment to make that pit stop.
Oh, that's good. That's a really good thing
we
to
have
say.
16 advisors. They all know what to do, how to perform them. So they can just come down. It is literally, we'll have you in and out of there in 15 minutes. It'll take you longer to get there than it will to even do it.
All right.
right.
Thanks,
No
guys.
appointment needed.
We'll see you next time around. Take care.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Take care. We'll be back. All right, look what I have here, the Florence Sylvester Senior Center, their guide for August 2019. And of course, we have a couple guests there for today. We got Shirley, you all know Shirley, and we got Tim Bryant from Nest Egg Investments. And I thought this month we were going to have an autographed picture of you in here.
You should have.
A tear out, people can put up on their wall.
Those are just in the bathrooms.
Okay. Well, good to have you both here today.
At least not the post office.
Yes, Tim, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
Enjoy being with you here, and good to see you again.
Yes,
Thank you.
and I know that Tim often gives some seminars there, and it's going to be a sponsor of your casino night that's coming up.
Tim does a wonderful job, excuse me, several times a year. We have Tim with Nest Egg Investments, Retirement Investments, doing seminars, free. And he comes in, he does seminars, but he'll do one-on-one also with some financial advice, which we really appreciate. And Tim has been with us for many, many, many years, and so he has been vetted, and he's fabulous. He really takes care of the seniors of this community. And we want to thank him, too, because he's going to be one of our sponsors for our casino night fundraiser, which is coming up in September already.
When is it now? I'm trying to look.
September 14th.
Okay.
At 6 p.m. at the Senior Center, and Tim is always there, and thank you, Tim, for your sponsorship.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. So again, it's a fundraiser. You know, the benefits are for the Florence Sylvester and all of our programs. It's a nice casual evening, but this year we're changing it up. It's going to be a Wild West theme.
All right.
It's going to be wild.
Fun.
That'll be fun.
And
so,
I know your fundraising has been going pretty well for your spring fundraising for Age Well in general.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, but this is directly for the Florence Sylvester. So if you come, it's $25 ticket to get in, and you get $100 play money when you do that. But if you're in your Western gear, which Tim will be, you get $125.
Oh, wow.
So you come dressed up and you get a little bit more play money. So,
that'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Cheryl talked about it a couple weeks ago when you weren't here. We talked about how you play with loaded dice, so we got to be careful.
Absolutely. Be careful.
So,
be careful. Absolutely. But it's a fun night. You don't have to know how to gamble to come. But it's a fun night, and we raise money for the Senior Center and all of our programs. So that's September 14th, Saturday night, 6 p.m. You can purchase the tickets at the Senior Center or the night of the event.
All right. And Tim, you know, I know with you, I've known you for many years, that, you know, when people get older, they're retired or close to retirement, a lot of times it's very common. You get to the point where you don't want to be too aggressive with things, but you don't want to see yourself earning 2-3%, like sticking it in the bank if you're lucky. And so a lot of the seminars you give are kind of steering people in a safe direction that may bring them a little bit more.
Yeah, I try and gear probably half of the seminars that we do towards people that might even be brand new to investing.
Right.
They may not have done this in the past. We get mostly ladies to our seminars.
Yeah.
And Dad never let them in on what was going on financially. So we spend a lot of time on basics, and I let them know that ahead of time. So I do have still some seminars for people that have been around and doing this, and they might pick up a new idea or two, but we try and stay pretty foundational on this.
Right, yeah, and it's not like, you know, I think years ago people were looking for these 12-15% and things like that, and even in CDs you could get that. Those days are gone.
Well, they are, and unfortunately you still see advertisements in the newspapers for 8, 10, 12% returns. Right. And there's fine print, and sometimes you can't even read it. So I often cut out those and make copies of them for my PowerPoint presentation, and we talk about them. And I usually have people say, yeah, I saw that. What is that about? Well, here's what it means. Right. So we try and keep them safe from even calling. And once you call a company that is advertising something like that, next thing you know, you're going to be in there talking to them in person. Yeah. And the pressure can be on. I've heard those stories. So we try and alert them.
It's like a timeshare.
Yeah. There you go. That's right. That's right.
You get the free ticket somewhere, but you know, they trap you in there.
Absolutely.
Coming up, you know, we got the August coming up. Boy, summer's last month of summer. Wow.
Tomorrow is August.
Yeah, but you got a lot of things going on, as you always do, and you always have great people. I'm looking at this here. You got Friday Flicks coming up.
Yes, we have. Every Friday we have movies.
Yes.
We have.
Is that something new?
No, we've been doing it for quite a while.
Oh,
every
I didn't know
Friday
that.
at 12:30, we show movies.
All right.
So
that'll be fun.
It's fun.
Now this is done at. I'm looking at the time here.
12:30.
Okay.
Every Friday. So I think tomorrow is Friday is
Apollo 11.
Apollo 11.
And people can come over and have lunch. You have lunch at 11:30 or 12?
Lunch at 11:30.
Okay, and then stay for a movie.
Most of them stay for a movie, and
that's great.
Something to do on Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Also, it's fun.
That is fun.
One of the other programs that we have coming up on Thursday, August 15th, the DMV will be there.
Yes.
The DMV and me. And we know how that is. Anyway, they're going to be telling us about the Real ID. And I know that a lot of people are confused about the Real ID. Do I really need the Real ID? So we're going to get all the they're going to get the facts about the Real ID.
That's really good.
It is good.
Because people are still confused about it. And I renewed my license. I had to actually go in after years in March. And at the time, I didn't upgrade to the Real ID just because of time. But I have to say that, you know, the DMV over here, I called I couldn't get through to make an appointment. So I left a message. It's the state DMV number.
Right.
And go, we'll call you back. And sure enough, a couple hours later, they called me back. And I said, you know what, I can't get an appointment online. My license is about to expire. They go, well, where are you at? And they looked up Laguna Hills location, and they go, oh, look it, there's only a 15-minute wait right now if you can get over there. And I did, and the whole time to get my license from start to finish was 45 minutes, which is remarkable.
Isn't that great service?
So, you know, I've been told over and over again, the one over here, it's later in the day is best, like 4 o'clock and afterwards.
Oh, absolutely.
People all want to get there, you know, 7:30 in the morning.
And they do. They line up at
and it's really
they line
the
up at
opposite.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and it's really the opposite.
But you come anywhere after 2:30, that it really makes a big difference.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the key.
That is really nice to hear. There's progress being made at the DMV. That's the first.
Yeah, I mean,
heard.
I was surprised, and they were very nice, and everything went smoothly, and.
Well, they're coming down from Sacramento to talk to us.
All right.
So they're coming down from
That'll
Sacramento.
That'll be really good. So that is
Thursday, August 15th at 1 o'clock. Yeah, so call the center for information. Let us know. Yeah, that's a big one because some of the seniors have said, you know, well, why do I need to get a real ID? So I said, let's come and let's get all the true facts as to why.
Very good.
Because I think eventually everybody's going to need one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. Now you've got another one coming up as well?
We have another one with Dr. Tren, who does a lot. You know Dr. Tren. He's here all the time. But he's going to do superfoods. So how do you, instead of taking medicines, what kind of foods can we eat?
Okay.
And you just, avocados is one of them, I'm sure. So Dr. Tren will be coming Thursday, August 8th at 1 o'clock in the center. Just
I'd like to see him with Lisa Gibson, because I know Lisa, you know Lisa.
Yes.
She doesn't really necessarily think there are superfoods.
There's conflicts with that.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be fun.
But he's very...
And he's a good guy.
He's
he
a
would
good
go
guy.
right
He's
along
very
with that.
casual. He'll sit in the room and he'll take his shoes off.
He would take his shoes off.
He takes his shoes off and he's just very casual.
Yes.
And people love him. He's a great doctor.
Yes.
So that's on August 8th. And speaking of Lisa, Lisa will be there on the 14th about healthy desserts.
Yeah.
If in God's name there is such a thing.
Right.
But we're going to find out.
Well, I've made some desserts with her. You know, we've done some
I know
things.
you have. I know you have. I know. So there's healthy desserts. So that's going to be on Wednesday, August 14th, and she always gives out samples.
Okay. Chocolate-covered celery.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites, too. And Tim, you'll let us know when you got something coming up as well?
Yes.
Probably going to be about 6 to 8 weeks from now. We'll have another one. Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll have them on.
Very good. Always good to see you.
You too.
And you
Ken.
too,
Thank
of course.
you. Thank you, Ken.
As always.
Thank you.
And pick up your booklet. We'll have a few of them here for you. A lot of good things coming up, from lunches to movies to learning about the Real ID, healthy desserts, Dr. Tren over there. They got it all.
And our fundraiser.
And your fundraiser.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll tell you more about Casino Night next time around. All right?
Yep. Thank you.
All right, take care. We'll be back. Jackie, please.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cart Mart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Cart here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cart Mart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
In a land of hopes and dreams lived a luxury lifestyle consultant with spectacular taste. One day he thought, I'll show lottery winners how to live like a millionaire.
I'm like gonna cry. Like, this is beautiful.
Pinch me. He scoured the land looking for the home of their dreams, which he slayed. So the families could live in plenty and live fabulously ever after.
All new My Lottery Dream Home, Friday night at 9 on HGTV.
Ray and I are standing in front of a digital sign that we hope serves as a deterrent against speeding vehicles, and also just to make our residents aware of their speed wherever they may be. We try to position these throughout our community, around curves, in downhill sections, and again, it's just to remind our folks to take it easy, to watch the posted speed limit, and as you can see here on this one, the posted speed limit is 25 miles an hour. And Ray, I'm sure that you see quite a few speeding violations in your traffic hearings.
Absolutely. We have an average of like 14 people in the morning that come in for traffic, and at least 3 of the 14 are there for speeding.
There was a speeding vehicle, I believe, driving 37 in a 25, which is excessive. Now, this was a straightaway, and that is unsafe. Just add the additional conditions of maybe it's dark out, poor lighting, the roadways are wet, you're on a curb, you're coming downhill, there's pedestrians out. There's a variety of issues that we need to take into consideration of. Bottom line is, let's take it nice and slow. Be aware of your surroundings. Again, know your limitations. When you're driving fast, you need to recognize that your ability to brake is going to be severely impacted as well.
Welcome back. Well, as you know, recreation always has lots of things going on, and today, of course, they are here to tell us all about it. I've got Brian Gruner. Welcome. Always nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
So it's been a while since I've interviewed you, but
Yes.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of great things going on. So tell me about something that's happening tomorrow, so everybody needs to know.
So tomorrow is when our standard reservations start. For anybody, any of the residents that want to come down, they can go down to Clubhouse 1, and they can, basically come in and make a reservation for 2020.
Okay.
That's not a rollover or a lottery reservation. It's just a standard walk-in reservation, and that starts tomorrow. So.
Okay, so it starts tomorrow. So I would imagine that tomorrow there might be a line at 8 a.m.
It's going to be busy tomorrow. Yes. So you want to come early,
Okay.
get situated, and grab a cup of coffee and wait until it's your turn.
So is that what most of the clubs would probably be showing up to reserve?
Most of the clubs actually do the rollover reservations, so they can reserve in advance.
Okay.
And basically that's already done. We did that back in May.
Oh, all right.
But now these are just the regular reservations for anybody to come in, walk in, and see what's available. If they have a wedding coming up, or if they have a birthday, or some other type of family event, then they can come in and make that reservation.
Oh, okay, great. So that's tomorrow, and that starts at 8 a.m. And where was that again?
At Clubhouse 1.
Clubhouse 1. Okay,
Yeah.
great. We have a little slide there, so perfect. Okay, good. And then something super fun this weekend, Saturday, is Grandparents' Fun Day.
Grandparents Fun Day, yes. So it's always a spectacular event. We're very excited having it over at Clubhouse 2.
Okay.
We're incorporating a water slide at the pool.
Oh.
So that's going to be a lot of fun for the kids. We actually had a water play day about 2 weeks ago, over at Pool 6, and the kids loved it. We had the water slide there. So we're bringing that out for Grandparents Fun Day, in addition to a rock wall climbing.
Wow.
Rock climbing wall. There you go.
Okay.
And just a bunch of other different activities, face painting. We're going to have a mermaid there. So this year's theme is actually under the water. So everything is, water-based.
Right.
That's the theme of the event this year. But yeah, it's a great turnout typically, and we have a lot of fun with the kids and the grandparents as well, and they can get their face painted, cotton candy, popcorn, so lots of food and different activities. So
It sounds like you have a really good turnout at most of these things, so there's a lot of grandchildren here.
Yeah, there actually is, despite what some people say, but there is a lot of grandparents that watch their grandkids, especially in the summer.
Okay.
Nowadays there's a lot of couples that have to work. They both have to work, and so the grandparents, are the ones who are babysitting the kids. And,
wow.
There's definitely a need for it, and we're trying to accommodate that need
That's
for
awesome.
them.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. So that's a Grandparents' Fun Day, and that's Saturday, August 3rd.
Yep.
And that is called Under the Sea.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. All right, good. And then you've got some closures that are going to be happening. Wednesday, August 14th. Tell us about that.
Yes, so Wednesday, August 14th, which will make everybody aware that basically we're doing a comprehensive staff training day.
Okay.
And it's from 1 to 4, and actually pretty much all the clubhouses are going to shut down for that 3-hour period.
Oh, okay.
So we can get all the staff together. It's about team building, about going over emergency procedures, and also getting to know your community better, so that we're really focusing on customer service that our staff and our team is providing to the residents.
Okay.
So it's a big day just because it's never happened before. Where we shut down all the facilities. The exception to that is actually the golf course is going to stay open, but all the other facilities will be closed.
Okay, great. Well, there'll be nobody working there, so
right.
They're all going to be in training. All right. Okay, good. And then this isn't for a while, but nonetheless, we thought we'd tell you about it. So it's Saturday, August 24th. You guys are having a dance.
A dance over at Clubhouse 5, starts at 6. Basically, it's just a great time for people to get together, socialize, come on down, have fun, dance. And the band starts playing at 6:30, and we typically get a great turnout for that as well. So tickets are $10. You pay at the door. It's first come, first serve, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, and you were telling me that that's every, what, 2 months?
Yeah, it's every 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So definitely check the recreation calendar.
Okay.
But it is on an ongoing basis that we do throughout the year.
Okay. And you and I were talking about a variety of different bands that.
Yeah.
So what is it that you kind of look for? I mean, maybe there's people here that live here that might have some bands they'd like to suggest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're always open for suggestions. If they know of a band, that's awesome. Come on down, let us know. Okay. But typically what we look for is a band that can energize a crowd, be interactive with the crowd, and just really bring a lot of energy and a lot of liveliness to an event.
Okay.
We are looking to definitely also bring in some more contemporary bands, more current bands.
Okay.
They're still particularly playing, like, let's say, from the 80s and early 90s.
Okay.
Some of those bands, that we're looking kind of to bring a few of those in as well, just to change things up a little bit.
Fun, well.
Seems like there's a lot of classic rock bands playing.
Okay.
And, with our trend and with some of the younger baby boomers coming in, we want to obviously cater to them as well. So we're looking for those bands.
Well, those 80s and 90s bands, I tell you. 80s bands, I think you can find just about anywhere here. I mean, I seem to see an awful lot of them. So I'll give him some suggestions.
There you go, Lisa. Perfect.
All right, good. Well, what else? Anything else exciting going on?
No, it's just a busy time of the year for us with the summer. The golf course is always super busy this time of the year. A lot of golfers coming out early, trying to beat the heat. Pickleball is doing great.
I've seen the courts, they're really
yeah,
nice.
So we're actually kind of interesting with that. We're trying to expand that programming to maybe start a league with other areas within Orange County, other clubs or other organizations where we can have similar to like a tennis league, like the USTA league or something like that.
Pickleball is getting so popular, so popular, and there are a few leagues I'm sure you can.
Yeah,
get
so
in
we're
here,
right on the start of that, so we're very excited for that and looking forward to developing something like that where we can kind of branch out of our community and play against some other areas.
Great.
So yeah, it'll be fun, really good.
Wonderful. Well, good job. You guys are doing a great job over there.
Well, thank you.
All right, nice to see you.
Good seeing you too.
And remember that if you have any questions, you can always contact the Recreation Department on any of the events. But remember, the first event is this weekend. We'll be right back.
At the Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback, you will always find a friendly face to guide you through your annual mammogram visit. Our staff, dedicated subspecialist breast radiologists, knowledge, and innovative technology await your visit to our center. With the Laguna Woods shuttle service right at our sidewalk, this convenient location offers you quick access for your appointment. You can expect nothing but the best for all your breast health needs at Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback.
Imagine a life. Now imagine this life belongs to someone you care about. Someone you love. Your spouse, your parent, your child, best friend, sister, coworker, or neighbor. Of course, you'd want the best life imaginable for them. A life with caring, meaningful relationships, the chance to succeed in school, fulfilling, challenging work, and a rewarding career. In short, you'd want them to have a long and happy life. Now imagine there was something keeping them from these things. Something that prevented it from happening. Something invisible, powerful, and often overwhelming. The good news is people can and do get better. With treatment and support, up to 90% of people with mental health challenges report a better quality of life. The bad news is most people who need help don't seek help. Why? Stigma. Stigma is the brick wall. Stigma is the fear of being quickly labeled and having people judge and form opinions about you before they actually know you. Stigma can keep a person from seeking help and living the life they deserve. So what's the solution? Honesty. Because honesty is stigma's weak spot. When we speak honestly and openly about mental health, stigma loses its power. Honesty breaks down barriers and removes obstacles, so people may seek help sooner. Families and friends will understand how to help and support. Schools become more accepting and understanding. Businesses place a person's value where value should be placed. And people understand and reach out to others. Because a simple thing like honesty creates a culture where one thing doesn't define someone. It's just one small part of what makes a person, well, a person. Each Mind Matters is California's mental health movement dedicated to creating and fostering open and honest conversations about mental health that break down the barriers of stigma. By increasing awareness of mental health, change happens all around us. Families and friends learn how to help the ones they love. Systems and services adapt so assistance is readily available if needed. Communities recognize the importance of mental health. In fact, 80% of people believe that recovery from mental illness is possible, and more people are willing to socialize, work with, and live in neighborhoods with people with mental health issues than just a year ago. But your support and investment is vital to keep the movement moving, to reduce mental health stigma and enable people we love to live the lives they deserve.
Welcome back. Well, from the PC Club today, we have Jack Schnabel, and you're the president of the club?
No, I'm in charge of education.
Okay, all right. And that's kind of what we're talking about today, because we were briefly chatting beforehand how over the last several months you've really kind of implemented evolving classes, looking at what the PC Club has to offer differently than possibly what it did several years ago.
Well, that's true. And what we're finding is that as the nature of the population of Laguna Woods is changing, and people coming into Laguna Woods now who are in their 60s maybe, they've had computers in their lives, and what they're looking for now is not the basics of how do you work a computer, but or a computing device.
Right.
But how can I use it to be helpful in my avocation, in my hobby?
Right, right. And as we were talking as well, is what's evolving, no matter whether you use a Mac, a PC, or whatever it may be, is people are evolving to almost away from a desktop or a laptop, and instead they're using their iPads, they're using Chromebooks, they're using things like this, finding that they can do just about everything that they need on those. And so why spend the money or go through the aggravation of trying to figure out the nuances of something else when it's so much easier using these type of devices?
Well, that's true, and the point that you make, that as the people are evolving, but the equipment is evolving too. We all carry very strong, very powerful computers in our pockets, cell phones, and so we in the PC Club are evolving our education component to stay current with what people are thinking and how they're living and the equipment that they're using.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about some of these new upcoming classes that you have, and you've already you're telling me how Bob Sellers this week did a couple classes that were full, and was that about genealogy?
Yes, in fact it was, and this was in the last probably 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
Bob is taking the family history and genealogy component and is expanding that and put on 2 similar workshops with different people, and was delighted that in our learning center, he filled up the learning center twice and was delighted, and he's going to lead that initiative in this upcoming session.
And that's become so popular for people.
It is, and technology has evolved, and with 23andMe, and you can know more things than you might even want to know.
Yeah.
So that is turning into a substantial value for Laguna Woods residents.
Right, and another one that you're doing are about smart speakers in your home, and of course we're talking about Amazon Echo and Google Home and all those kind of things, and more people are using those for, I think on one hand people are maybe a little apprehensive or afraid, they're always listening to me, what are they finding out? But when you think about what it can do, especially for people who have maybe mobility issues, to be able to ask questions and get answers that they might need for that day, what's the weather going to be, and so on. It's quite amazing.
It is, and there's a fair amount of expression about my privacy and your privacy, but people forget that these devices are extremely valuable, extremely helpful in their everyday lives.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're talking about in our new courses, that what we're now presenting is information that people can use in their everyday lives to advance what they like to do.
Right. And so many times people in this community maybe want to take up a new hobby or go back to something that they used to do, and they're not sure, quite how to do it. And you're going to have classes on that as well, and how this technology can help them.
Well, most definitely, and as I mentioned earlier to you, we have about 350 resident visits each week to our workshop, and we get to see who is doing what and what the needs are in the community. And the courses that we're offering are really in line with that. We're offering basic video editing, which is actually a part of Windows 10.
Yeah.
We're offering a really interesting digital graphics course for people who need to do more sophisticated graphics, perhaps in the club they belong to.
Okay.
And or reports that they're doing, or staying in touch, or journaling, or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So this is all in line with what we've been working on since the turn of the year.
And one of the things that I like to bring up is all the different information you can find just by using something like YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of silliness on there. However, like my wife has been into knitting for quite a while and watches several knitting programs, people from around the world. I've watched gardening ones or whatever it may be, cooking and barbecue and things like that. I've gone on YouTube to figure out, I don't know, a couple years ago, how to put this unit, what was going on with my dishwasher, why it was doing this. It was filling up with water. I found out exactly what it was. I ordered the part for it. I watched the video as I'm putting it in to tell me exactly how to put it in, by experts, by people that work with this particular, appliance company. I mean, it's amazing that if you look for the right things, the stuff that you can learn and are helpful is incredible.
It is, and if I were to have to say what's the most important thing we teach people not only in the workshop but in our classes, is that there is no need to be confused about anything that you're doing. You can find it mostly in a YouTube video. And you can find the part. You can learn how to hold the screwdriver. And you can accomplish it without the slightest concern.
Yeah, exactly. All right, sir, we're running out of time.
Okay.
So I want to mention people, the PC Club is, of course, right here on the 3rd floor of the Community Center building. There's the workshop, there's the classrooms. You can certainly find out. And I know, what's your website again?
Is pcclub.org.
Okay, all right, so you can find out all the information there. Great people that are over there. They can help you out in so many different things. Just if you got a question, just go up to the workshop and say, hey, I'm not sure how this is working, and they'll help you out.
We love to do that every single day.
All right, good to see you, Jack.
Thank you.
Take care. Say hi to Bob for me.
I will.
All right, we'll be back. Bye.
Before I tell you what I'm about to tell you, let me tell you that it's very important that you listen to what I'm going to tell you. Looking good, Albert. The people have spoken. They want a man of action. Real gold? They want a leader who will stare boredom in the face and say, not on my watch. Insert me, Rob Riggle, the new mayor of Funner, California. It's not a word, it's a place.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
You want me to help put you in the State Attorney General's office? I do. There's something that I need in return. Name it. Taylor Mason. I want them in a cell.
Take them out.
Yes, I do.
Get with it, people. Have fun storming the castle.
New episodes, only on Showtime.
And coming up on Friday, we have a movie for you called Phantom Thread. Great movie. It's about sewing invisible clothes, right? Oh no, that's not it. That's something else.
What is that? Which one are you referring to?
I'm Thread.
Invisible. Okay.
Phantom Thread, right? All right, it's set in the 1950s London. I think this is based on a true story. Reynolds Woodcock is a renowned dressmaker whose fastidious life is disrupted by a young, strong-willed woman, Alma, who soon becomes a fixture in his life as his muse and lover. Once controlled and planned, he finds his carefully tailored life disrupted by love. This won a couple Academy Awards for Best Costumes. Kind of makes sense, right? And it stars Daniel Day-Lewis, who excellent actor. So this will be Friday at 2 and 7 o'clock.
It looks good. Looks
yes.
really good. And that movie was brought to you by Memorial Care, right?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay, good. So the other movie that we have, which is on Monday, August 5th, and that will be, there's a special time for that. That will be at 11:30 in the morning because we have a GRF budget meeting. So we needed to get that going early. And that'll also air at 6 p.m. So this is called Searching, and it's after David Kim, who is played by John Cho. 16-year-old daughter goes missing. A local investigation is opened and a detective is assigned to the case. But 37 hours later, and without a single lead, David decides to search the one place no one has looked yet, where all secrets are kept today, his daughter's laptop. So that's got Deborah Messing, Joseph Lee, and John Cho. So it looks like a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
Kind of a thriller thing. So that will be, again, like I mentioned, Monday, 11:30 in the morning and 6 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
You wanted to mention quickly again what you and Brian were talking about.
We interviewed Recreation earlier. We just want to remind you that tomorrow is the first day that you can go in to make 2020 walk-in reservations. And that'll be from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that'll be in Clubhouse 1.
And that's important because they fill up.
Yeah, they do fill up.
Yeah, very quickly. All right, the weather, a little bit of humidity today and tomorrow, although we got the fog this morning, which is great. And the temperatures are not going to be that high, so not too bad at all. However, as we get to next week, maybe starting on Sunday, probably more on Monday, we'll see that humidity and temperatures start to go up, very normal for this time of the year, as we make our way into August beginning tomorrow, but not too bad. And the next few days are going to be pretty mild and kind of nice, so enjoy that. Around the county today, pretty much what we had yesterday, not much difference. Palm Springs, I said earlier, 105 today, so cold out in Palm Springs. There'll be probably 114, 15 in the next few days. So if you like Palm Springs, go out there over the next few days.
Right now, before it gets to be 114.
Right.
Because it was so hot.
Yeah, it really was.
All right, tomorrow we have the Globe coming, we have Robert's Rules, we have the Old Pros, and then Kristen from the Equestrian Center to be here, and she's going to talk a little bit more about some of the classes you guys can take over there. So good stuff. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
To maintain independence in their home, ActiCare can help. Our caregivers provide home care services to relieve the strain placed on family and make staying at home possible. Don't let another day go by without getting the care they deserve.
We can provide your loved one the care they need and motivation and give you peace of mind. Please call to set up a free care consultation.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. ActiCare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.